Greeting of the day, friends. We are discussing the moment of inertia of built-up section. In built-up section, we have already seen the L section, then T section, inverted T section, and unsymmetrical I sections. In today's lecture, we discuss the numericals of symmetrical I section. How to find out the moment of inertia of that symmetrical I sections. So let us start from the first numericals. Determine the moment of inertia of a centroidal axis xx and yy of an symmetrical I section with the following details. This question is also the one of time in MSBT board examination for 6 marks. So dimensions of I sections are given. Top flange 160 by 20 mm, bottom flange 160 by 20 mm, and web 80 by 20 mm. So given equal I sections having width of top flange 160, depth of top flange is 20 mm, width of bottom flange is 160, and depth of bottom flange is 20 mm, and width of wave is 20 mm, and depth of wave is 80 mm. We have to find out the moment of inertia of that symmetrical I section about xx and yy centroidal axes. So first of all, divide these sections, given sections, into the suitable number of rectangular sections. So rectangle 1 is top flange, rectangle 2 is web, and rectangle 3 is bottom flange. So dimension of rectangle 1 is width 160 and depth 20 mm. For rectangle 2, width is 20 and depth is 80, and for rectangle 3, width is 160 and depth is 20 mm. So here draw the figures of given equal I sections having top width of flange 160, bottom width of flange is 160, depth of web is 80 mm, and x and y axis is passing through the CG of that I sections. So x1 axis is passing through the CG of rectangle 1, x2 axis is passing through CG of rectangle 2, and x3 axis is passing through CG of rectangle 3. So first of all, we have to find out the x bar and y bar of this section. So given section is symmetrical about vertical centroidal axis, means about yy axis. So its x bar is directly total width by 2, or by using the formula a1x1 plus a2x2 plus a3x3 upon a1 plus a2 plus a3. Similarly, y bar is a1y1 plus a2y2 plus a3y3 upon a1 plus a2 plus a3. So to find out the x bar and y bar with respect to OA and OB reference axis. So x bar is distance of CG of symmetrical I sections from OB axis. So x bar is equal to a1x1 plus a2x2 plus a3x3 upon a1 plus a2 plus a3. a1 is area of rectangle 1, a2 is area of rectangle 2, and a3 is area of rectangle 3. So x1 is equal to, let us go through the figure. The rectangle 1 is shown with respect to OA and OB axis. So width of rectangle 1 is 160 mm and depth is 20 mm. Distance from the OA axis to the bottom surface of rectangle 1 is 80 plus 20 is 100, and width of rectangle 1 is 160. So x1 is distance from OB axis to CG of rectangle 1. So total width is 160, so 160 by 2 is 80 mm. Y1 is distance of a CG of a rectangle 1 from the OA axis, bottom horizontal axis. So 20 plus 80 plus 20 by 2, it's 110 mm. Then for rectangle 2, draw the figures. Rectangle 1 and rectangle 2. Now rectangle 2 x2, distance of CG of rectangle 2 from left side OB. So total width is 160 divided by 2, so it's 80 minus half of thickness of web. So distance, let's remaining distance is 70 mm. So 70 plus 20 by 2 is CG of rectangle 2 from OB axis. So 70 plus 20 by 2 is 80. Then Y2 is distance from OA axis to CG of rectangle 2. So 20 plus 80 by 2, it's 60. Similarly for rectangle 3, that is bottom flange of I sections. So x3, 160 by 2 is 80, and y3, 20 by 2, 10. Now put up this value, area and x1, x2. Then we will get x bar is 80 mm and y bar is 60 mm. Step number 3. To find the moment of inertia of centroidal axis xx, horizontal centroidal axis. So we have to find out the moment of inertia of each rectangle with respect to CG of I sections. So we have to calculate the distance between individual axis of rectangle 1, 2, 3 and the CG centroidal axis of I sections. So first of all, discuss about the horizontal axes. So distance between x1 axis and xx axis is denoted by h1, and h1 is equal to y1 minus y bar. So y1 is 110 minus y bar is 60, h1 is 50 mm. Similarly h2 and h3 given in figure, go through that. So Ixx is equal to Ixx1 plus Ixx2 plus Ixx3. That is moment of inertia of rectangle 1, rectangle 2 and rectangle 3 about the centroid of a I section, that is about G point. So use the parallel axis theorem. Ixx1 is equal to Ig1 plus A1H1 square. So Ig1 is B1 D1 cube by 12. Put out this value. B1 is 160 and D1 is 20 cube by 12. So Ig1, moment of inertia of rectangle 1 about centroid of a rectangle 1 is 106.667 into 10 to the power 3 mm power 4. So area of a rectangle 1 is 3200 mm square. H1 is distance between axis x1 and xx axis. So y minus y bar, so 50 mm. Put out these values in parallel axis theorem, we will get moment of inertia of rectangle 1 about CG of I sections. So 8.106 into 10 to the power 6 mm power 4. Same way for rectangle 2, Ig2 plus A2 H2 square. Ig2 is equal to B2 D2 cube by 12. B2 is 20 and D2 is 80 cube by 12. So moment of inertia of rectangle 2 about CG is 853.33 into 10 to the power 3 mm power 4. Area of rectangle 2 is 1600 mm square. H2 is distance between CG of rectangle 2 and CG of I sections. So given figure is symmetrical about YY sections, and the top flange and bottom and the given section is symmetrical I section. So H2 in this equation is 0 because y2 minus y bar, y2 is 60 and y bar is also 60, so 0. So moment of inertia of a centroid, moment of inertia of a rectangle 2 about its centroid is also equal to moment of inertia of a rectangle 2 about CG of I sections because of symmetrical I sections. In previous problem there is some value because the width of top flange is less as compared to width of bottom flange. So the CG of rectangle 2 and CG of I section is not coincides. In this problem, it's coincide because of its symmetrical I sections. Now Ixx3 is equal to Ig3 plus A3H3 square. So Ig3 is B3D3 cube by 12, 160 into 20 cube by 12, 106.667 into 10 to the power 3 mm power 4. A3 is 300 and H3 is distance between x3 axis and x axis. So y minus y3. So H3 is 50 mm. Now Ixx3 is equal to Ig3 plus A3H3 square. So moment of inertia of rectangle 3 about CG of I section is 8.106 into 10 to the power 6 mm power 4. So moment of inertia of rectangle 1, 2 and 3 is equal to moment of inertia of a rectangle of I sections. So Ixx is equal to Ixx1 plus Ixx2 plus Ixx3. So summation of these three moment of inertia of a rectangle will get the moment of inertia of I sections about horizontal centroidal axis 17.065 into 10 to the power 6 mm power 4. Now moment of inertia of about centroidal y axis. Same way, Iyy1 plus Iyy2 plus Iyy3. So Iyy1 is equal to Ig1 plus A1H1 square. In this, while finding moment of inertia about vertical centroidal axis, the three centroidal axis of each rectangle is coincide with the vertical axis of I sections. That means Iy11, Iy22, Y33 are coincides with Iyy axes. So D1 B1 cube by 12, 20 into 160 cube by 12, 6.826 into 10 to the power 6 mm power 4. Because axes are coincide each other, so H1, H2 and H3 in this case are 0. So directly moment of inertia of a rectangle about vertical centroidal axis is also equal to the moment of inertia of a rectangle about vertical axis. Means what? Iyy1 is equal to Ig1, Iyy2 is equal to Ig2 and Iyy3 is equal to Ig3. So total moment of inertia about y axis is Iyy1 plus Iyy2 plus Iyy3 or Ig1 plus Ig2 plus Ig3. So moment of inertia of I sections about vertical centroidal axis is 6.985 into 10 to the power 6 mm power 4. So these are the problems on built up sections. How to find out these methods are used to find out the moment of inertia of built up sections by dividing the figure into standard rectangle and find out the moment of inertia about the CG of that built up sections. So in next lecture we discuss the channel sections. Okay, thank you.